Well, Scott, we waited an extra 2 months to get Lorcana Challenges. Your first impression of them are?
I was impressed with a lot of what they're doing. I have to admit, I'm actually shocked that they're doing it. They're doing this level of event first party.
For
So
free.
I did not think that the regional events were going to be held by Ravensburger.
Sure.
I thought this level was going to be outsourced to a third party, to a tournament organizer, and then the nationals and worlds. That's not true, by the way.
Thank you, Scott. So the 512 cap is it's a number. It's a fictional number.
It's just the number they started with.
It's just the number they're going to start it with. It'll go above.
Yeah.
Dave, blink twice if you were. Yeah.
No, we were not. We were not.
Oh, that's funny. What is that? That's funny. Oh, that's a funny comment. So before we get into the 2-game thing,
it's on the second slide, so we're not gonna.
Yeah, we'll get there. Before we get into it, the amount of promo cards, I think, is incredible. I mean, the idea that we're all gonna get one for participation. Top 64 gets one. Top 32 gets one. Top 16 gets one. Top 4 gets one. The fact that there's that many,
yep,
I think is very impressive. I mean, that's honestly, that's way more than I would have thought. If I'm being completely honest. So even that type of scaling for that type of prize is really nice, because listen, we've all played in big events, and most of the time it's oh, top 16 get something, and if you're not in the top 16, you got shit that day. Now this is hey, if you showed up and you got top 64, you're walking away with, in all honesty, dead ass. If you ask me right now, that card's a $50 card. You're walking away with a $50 let it go, $25 let it go, $30 let it go.
Way more than that.
Minimum. At minimum, you're you're walking away with this card.
Yep.
That people are going to want 4 of them. They're going to be sought after. I think that's great. I think it's great that we're going to go that far down. I think that honestly, even the Dragonfire being participations, they're probably still going to be a $25 card.
More than that.
Probably. We're going to get into that, probably. But I think it's really great to see that they went to this extent for this many layers of prizing.
Yep.
Of cards. I was very, very excited to see those numbers.
Agreed.
So, Scott, where are we going?
So we're going to Atlanta.
Yeah, for sure.
So the first thing I want to say is, if you play in a North American event and you qualify for, I think it's top 8. If you make top 8, you qualify for a North American, I'm going to call it a Continental, because that's what I'm used to calling it. I don't know what they're actually going to call it. If you qualify in a European top 8, you will qualify for the European Continental. So
just to confirm, there was no zero information past this about where nationals or continentals are, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Only that you qualify for whatever region you you played in. Okay. So I actually thought, when I was first seeing this, because I was posting to Facebook at a billion miles a minute, I actually assumed that all the 2 North American and the 2 European were technically all the same days. I saw that the first ones were the same days.
Yeah.
But you can technically go to Germany.
Technically, we're going to go to Germany. Technically.
But if you qualify there, then you qualify for a European Continental, which I assume the Continentals are actually going to be the same weekend. So you're not going to be able to play in both Continentals, but you might be qualified for both Continentals.
Sure.
There's going to be.
I'm sorry, I missed it. How many people get qualified?
Just top 8.
Only the top 8.
Yeah, but
wow.
Okay, so
that's low.
Right. So there's 2 layers of this to understand.
Sure.
So there's 4 more in the U.S. to be announced.
We're gonna let Scott's quarterback in this, guys. If you haven't figured it out yet.
Technically in the U.S. I mean, technically in North America. I guess there could technically be some in Canada or Mexico. Maybe,
sure.
Who knows? So, and then I assume the European ones, I don't think it'll be just in France and Germany, because I know there's a big Spanish population and things like that.
I mean, Italy too. Right. Honestly, they're huge.
So it wouldn't surprise me. And obviously it's a lot faster to get around the different countries in Europe than it is here. So, but what they did say was Continentals, as we'll call it, will have a quote day zero, which in my lingo means last chance qualifiers.
Sure. Yeah.
So there'll be so you can qualify on site for Continentals.
Okay.
On day zero. So let's assume
still
that's
seems really low though, right?
Let's assume that's like the Friday. Because otherwise,
I'm saying just in general, if it I don't know. So there's 2 more that we know from this that are going to be announced for sure, right?
4 more in
2 more events for each, so 4 more total. But yeah, let's just split it right. So you're talking 32 players.
No,
from
40,
these. No,
48
right?
players.
8, 16
from these, yeah. But they're
right.
But they're
that's what I'm saying. Per continent, right? It's only 32 players.
48 for North America, 32 for Europe.
How do you get this?
6 times 8.
Where are you getting 6 at? It says 4 more
events to be announced.
Guys, I had a long work day. Leave me alone. This is why Scott's quarterbacking. All right, so yeah. So you're talking you're still only saying that in these gigantic events, 512 plus people events,
yes,
only 48 people are going to qualify for Continentals. It feels low. It feels real low.
That's why I have 2 opinions.
Sure.
One, you have the day zero thing. Okay, which has already been said. So you have last chance qualifiers to qualify the day the day before Continentals. So that's number 1. 2, I'm also assuming that this is only season 1. So if I had to guess, if you look at the North American 6 now, not 4, 6. I'm assuming because these are all gonna take place over a certain period of time. They may even add more.
Yeah, if you ask me, it would not shock me if we get one in July and one in August,
right,
and one in September and one in October,
right. So one of 2 things is either happening: they're going to add more, or it's going to be a pretty massive last chance qualifier. Now that's okay because, as we're going to show you, you're going to win a ton of prizes for doing well in these anyway. So it's not
are there last chance qualifiers? Are those prizes there?
No.
Oh,
but the prizes for doing well in this are still pretty massive.
Yeah. So, did they say anything about invites passing down?
No, they didn't say anything about that.
Okay.
They did say later. They're hoping later this week that they will have that it's not just in Atlanta, that it's presumably at the Atlanta Convention Center, but they'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, I have to assume that it's the same, maybe even the same place that SCG is hosting,
Well, remember that really cool hotel that we had?
We definitely went to a DMF Atlanta, right? I think I remember this.
It was Worlds.
It was Worlds. That's right. It was Worlds. You're right.
Yeah. It was that cool. It's that cool hotel that's in movies. It's massive. It's
Is it a Hyatt?
I don't know. It's really, really tall, and when you look out your it's not wide, and when you look out your balcony, you're looking down a massive amount of feet, and it's been in a lot of movies and stuff. So I wonder if it'd be cool if it was there.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called. Somebody from Atlanta or somebody from the area.
I mean, I'm shocked. I know it's only March 20th, but it's only 2 months away, and we don't even know where it is.
We'll know this week. They said that the organized play page will be updated. There already is an organized play page that has a lot of.
It's really not though. I went to it and it's nothing.
I was gonna put the link up there, but
it felt like a lie. I was oh, I'll go check it out, and then there was just nothing there. I'm oh, okay,
that's fair. But they said they'll know hopefully by the end of this week. They'll actually put where it's gonna be.
All right. So day 1 format. This is how far behind I am. There's a difference between day 1 and day 2.
Yeah, day 2 is still best of 3.
The top 8?
No, all top 64.
Oh, so there's a top 64 cut. See, I missed all of these things.
Where do you think the prizes come from?
I don't know. Okay, so
I'll explain this in the Let It Go. When we get to Let It Go,
all right, cool. So day 1 format it's a 2 games per match. Each player will get to play first one of the games. If you win the die roll, you get to pick whether you play first in game 1 or game 2. If you go 2-0, you get 3 match points. If you split 1-1, you get 1 match point. Game 2 wins is the 3rd tiebreaker.
Yes.
Okay.
So the first tiebreaker is still opponent's win percentage.
Yeah, is the third. Yeah, so game 2 wins is a third tiebreaker.
Yeah.
I would absolutely assume that it will be legal.
Yes,
I do believe set 4 will be legal for the first regionals.
I believe Lorcana has a rule that as soon as cards are
it's legal upon release. So yeah.
Tell your LGS to order you some more boxes.
Yeah, you should definitely get more boxes. Okay. So here's the interesting thing, okay? First and foremost, my gut reaction is I'm excited by this for a few reasons. First and foremost is I'm always in favor of shorter rounds, and this is a good way of having that happen without too much interference from other crap. I don't know that I love that the game 2 win is the third tiebreaker because I don't really get it. I don't know. Like that's the one thing, honestly, about this. Like just reading this out loud. Why is the game 2 the tiebreaker?
Because I think you get to decide whether you're going first or second in game 2. The person who rolled the die, so it's like you have some control over what happens in that situation. I don't know. It's just arbitrary compared to the other one, but at least you know who's going to be going first in that game before it like happens. If that makes sense.
So I don't know. I guess my thing about this, right, is if on average you win more games going first, then you're just going to choose to go first in game 2.
Yes.
Right? But I still don't. I don't know. To me, I just don't get it. Like it's just a weird rule.
They need, because there's an even number of games all the time, they need some tiebreaker, so they just arbitrarily decided this. If they had said game 1 wins, it'd be the same exactly.
I agree with you. That's why I think it's weird, period. It could say either option, and I'd still be like, I don't get it. Like, why is this a thing? But I guess we can go back and laugh about this for a second. Do you remember what the third tiebreaker was in Transformers?
Opponent's win percentage, health remaining, or something like that, was it?
Nope.
I don't. I forget.
Who registered first?
Right. Okay. Because there weren't enough like things to do or something like that, right? Yeah. So
literally, who registered first? So anyone that's going to complain about this, just think not making a top 8 because your opponent registered 10 minutes before you. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
That's your only issue with this? Because I have a big issue with this.
No, that's just the one that sticks out the most, where I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, I just, whatever. So go ahead. Let's have it. We can have a chat about it. Go ahead.
I have no issue with essentially a multiplayer best of 1 format.
Sure.
So I have no issue playing 2 games against the same person instead of playing best of 3.
I know where this is going. Yeah.
I have an issue with if you go 2-0, you get 3 points.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
I don't know why you get a bonus point for like 2-0ing versus just going.
If anything, 2-0. I would rather that be the tiebreaker.
What number of times that you went 2-0?
Yeah, like let that be the third tiebreaker.
I mean, I think technically it is I think it technically will be because the second tiebreaker, because the first tiebreaker will be first of all just overall points,
tiebreaker,
and then it's opponent's win percentage, and then it's probably going to be game wins, and then it's number of wins of game 2, which I can't imagine it's going to come down to, but it may. I don't know.
The points are going to be so weird.
I don't have a problem with it's not best of 2. It's just like playing 2 games against the same person.
Yeah, I get all that.
Who goes first. I have no problem with that. I just don't like that if you 2-0 somebody, you get 3 points. Because
I don't.
You're in such a hole to somebody that one win is so much less than 3.
Right.
For really only winning 1 less game.
Yeah. What's really weird about it is honestly going to be like determining top cuts, because if there's a world where I don't know, let's say these are 512 players is 10 rounds, right? I think it's at least 10 rounds.
Well,
let's just say it's 10 rounds, right?
We're assuming that part doesn't change either, right?
Yeah, I mean that's also fair. It could be more. It could be a +1, like a Swiss +1.
So let's assume that doesn't change.
So let's assume it doesn't change. You get 10 rounds. So that means
20 games.
You can get 10. It is a round, right? Like you just play someone twice.
Yeah.
So you can max out at 30 points.
Yes.
I don't know. Like it's just gonna be crazy. Like I think the difference in it's gonna be so hard to like try and figure out like what my breaker is in a given tournament. It like because like you might be in round 5 where there's just like a bunch of like splits and things like that, and then there's like 1 or 2 people that are just so far ahead of everyone because of this extra bonus point. But then in the last 3 rounds, you might have someone just be like 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, and all of a sudden just like they're right back in it. So like it's gonna be so hard to determine who is safe, who can intentional draw, which I know
there's
is a whole other argument itself. What?
There's no more intentional draws either.
Oh, when did that happen? Did that get also discussed today?
No, but I mean, it makes sense, right? If you only get a point for a win, there's no intentional draw. It doesn't work.
Oh, you mean there's no points for intentional draws?
There can't be.
Was that addressed at all? I guess it wasn't, right?
No, but I don't think there can be.
Well, then what? So is an unintentional draw just a loss?
No, it's a uncompleted game. You only get points for winning games. So you have to.
So like the likeliness of it being 0-0 after 40 minutes is low, but it's possible.
But it could be 1-0, and then you would only get 1 point.
No, that I get. I get.
So I assume there's no more intentional draws because of this. I assume you're allowed to do it, but you would never do it.
So, all right, this is going to be a rabbit hole, but so since there technically is, if we're saying that it's 2 best, like it's just a round with 2 best of ones.
Yes.
Do you still go to time? Like in time, do we get turns?
I would assume so, yeah. You can still try to finish the game, but I think an uncompleted game will be uncompleted, which is what happened in WoW, I think, right? Didn't we have uncompleted games? You didn't have draws.
I'm going to be honest. I can't remember.
I think we had uncompleted games where they did not count as a win. And you basically had to, like, it was basically like your number.
I didn't even go down this rabbit hole earlier. Yeah, let's go, Alice. But seriously, so this basically removes draws.
In my opinion, it probably will.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. I mean, here's my problem, right? I know it's very easy to see this and get angry and probably confused and you don't understand it. And I think that's fine. Like, you know, each their own. But I can also look at it like in a world they've been testing this for months in, you know, in their circles and things like that in different areas.
Sure. I can practice it on a spreadsheet too. I mean,
yeah. But I'm saying like they've definitely let's put it this way. They didn't wake up this morning and decide this, right? Like they've been planning this. So since they've been planning this, I gotta back the idea. What I will 100% say right now that if we go to Atlanta and I have to register for Melee, I'm gonna be furious because I don't understand how this at all works on Melee.
They did say that they did not use Melee by name, but they said that the tournament software will be able to support it. Because they also said that like they're not going to force LGSs to use this system unless they want to, but that it will be supported through the tournament software to allow them to.
Okay.
So I assume that's Melee, but I'm not positive.
I mean, I don't know Melee's capabilities, but I also don't trust it. So,
I mean, I would assume Melee would just treat it like a multi best of one. And then if you go 2-0, just give an extra point. I don't think it's that hard to program that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I guess on Melee, you do report who wins what game.
Right.
So, like, it would be able to track that.
Yeah.
Man, now I have so many more questions.
They're easy questions to answer. It's just the ramifications of them, I think, that matter.
All right, Scott, tell me about all the cool cards.
They're awesome.
I mean, they are like, they're fucking awesome. There's no doubt about it. Like,
I think every one of these is cool. These are foil. I'm pretty sure these are foil.
They're foil, yeah.
Yeah.
The foilness is like I'll try and go full screen for those that like haven't really seen it, but it's basically like the swirl effect is the foiled effect on these, which is probably so badass looking.
So the Dragonfire and the Let It Go are the original arts, just like extended.
God, listen, before Scott goes any further, I'm gonna have 4 of these Let It Goes. I'm telling everyone right now, I'm gonna have 4 of them. Continue, Scott.
So the Dragonfire, do you like my descriptions at the bottom?
Participation.
Yeah. So
Day 2, basically, sure.
So you get a Dragonfire for signing up. And you get a Let It Go for making day 2. Now, the reason I said basically top 64, because that's the way they explained it.
Oh, so you might have a top 96.
No, I think you just they're going to say anyone that has the same record as the 64th person.
Sure.
So, I'm not saying there's going to be 64 of these for each event. There's probably going to be more. Sure. Then you get top 32 is the Cinderella Stout-Hearted. Top 16 is the Rapunzel for the first set. And then there's more prizes on the second page.
Oh, okay. I'll continue.
So what you see at the bottom is that's a new OP symbol, by the way.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like it. You can see it a little bit better on the playmat here.
Yeah. So top 8 gets this playmat and there's foiling on the playmat, which I don't have any experience with.
I don't even know how that works, but it sounds awesome.
Yeah. And you qualify for Continentals. Then top 4, which they have not shown the picture, and they are probably going to show it over the next week or two, is a serialized BLT Mickey that's numbered. What I assume is like in this situation, like right now would be how many events did we decide? 10 events, 4 people. So I assume it's 1 to 40. So literally, like at the first event,
I think it's probably safe to say there's 1 of 100.
Sure. So you'll know how many of these are out there in the wild, and you'll literally be the only person that has number whatever.
Yeah, and from like anyone that like hasn't really been following Magic the Gathering started doing serialized numbers for certain things. Like obviously, anyone that's a card game player probably heard about the One Ring, because that was like 1 of 1, and it was sold for $2 million to oh my God, what's his name?
Post Malone.
Yeah, Posty. I couldn't remember. But they also do like these serialized numbers, like 1 of 300, 1 of 200, 1 of 9,000, or whatever it is. This being a serialized number that is a top 4 prize in, a couple 100-person tournament, and it's a different art. It's like they describe it as like a golden Mickey Mouse, right? Like,
yep.
God, Scott, how much of these things would cost?
So I want you to pause the video right here. Go to eBay and type in serialized One Piece TCG.
All right. Hold on. We can do this. I can do this live, right? We can do this live. Let's go to eBay. Okay.
Look up serialized One Piece TCG.
Are these going to be like mind blowing?
I mean, I was told they're pretty mind blowing.
Serialized One Piece. I didn't type anything. I suck.
I can't help that part of it. I'll take care of it in post.
What the fuck? Jesus. All right, hold please. Hold please. Guys, do you see this one? Like, can we talk about this for a second? Oh, hold on. Wow, man, you guys can't see that. Why can't they see that?
I see the 100,000.
Can I go? Do you see 100,000? Oh, yeah. Wait, hold on. Hold please. Let's do this again. Let's try this one more time. This number's ridiculous. I can't believe this is a number. That's a number, guys. That's a number. That's $100,000.
Yep. I mean, it was graded, obviously, but
whatever.
Right. And that's out of 700 of them.
Jesus.
So I was told by a friend of ours.
Like, this is 25,000.
Yeah. I was told by a friend of ours that, quote, One Piece is the most popular thing in the world in Japan, and like, but whatever. It might be for sure. I have no idea.
Sure.
I don't know about compared to Disney. But what I can tell you is This is an example of a game that had serialized prize cards, and they are worth a lot of money when you get them graded.
$25,000.
Yes.
Oh my God. Is this One Piece also? Is this 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, like, this was last year, like top 16, right? So this is a top 16 card.
Yep.
Not even a top 4, top 16 card, $15,000.
Yep.
Jesus. Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's insane.
So if you make top 4, you get this, you get the playmat, you get all the 4 cards that we just saw a second ago. So it's quite the haul. I'm not going to lie. Now, granted, of course, I mean, I knew there was going to be no cash. Like we knew there was going to be no cash prizes. But I mean, these are going to be worth some serious cash.
It's paper money, that's for sure. Like, this is not Monopoly.
I mean, if there's conservatively, let's say they up the numbers.
I mean, let's just say there is 10, right? Right now there's 10. I mean, there's
right, but I'm saying if there's like
800
people per, like, let's say there's like 8,000 Dragonfires out there.
Sure.
There's like, just keep multiplying all these numbers by like 10.
Yeah, by 10. That, whatever.
I mean, it's really hard to say. I'll let you in a little secret, viewers. The playmats that we got from Gen Con and PAX Unplugged,
sure,
we sold for over $900. So there is a huge market collectibles.
There was only 85 of them. We think in the world, maybe there was more because of some of the European stuff.
Yeah. So
but you're talking about less than 100,
right? So if you had to give me a number right now, like I would say the playmat is easily $1,500 to $2,000.
Yeah. I mean, with it being foil, even it might be more.
Yeah,
it might be more.
The serial. I mean, I would get all these cards graded. I said,
absolutely, these cards are getting graded. Yeah.
And I'm not even an expert on how to do that.
Right. I'll be Googling it.
But assuming that they come back in really good condition, these are going to be worth quite a penny.
Yeah. I can't believe that card's $100,000.
I mean, that's like one of the winner cards, right? It's not even that. No, it's one of the 700. It's like that was given out to a decent amount of people, I think.
I don't know. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's buku.
So once we know the picture, we'll definitely put it up, but we don't know the picture yet.
Yeah. They said that it was like, it deserved its own moment, right?
Yeah, which is cool because we always said that BLT was like
he's definitely like the premier
representation of the set or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually wound up that way.
He's definitely like the premier card. Like he was the premier character of Chapter 1. Obviously, they gave him out at the D23 Expo as like the participation pack thing that obviously no one thought was going to be as much as it was. But hey, I
think it'd be cool if you see like, I'll trade you my serialized card for one of your D23 sets.
I mean, we've seen crazier things.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm pretty impressed.
All right, so first tournament's Atlanta.
Yep.
We've already pretty much established that it's the week after Ursula's Return releases
to LGSs.
To LGSs. We can only assume that it's legal for this tournament. I'm going to be honest, not that I'm like upset about this in any which fashion, but it is a little crazy to me that like our two like challenges are like so close apart. Like there's only 2 weeks apart,
Yeah.
In Europe, they have like a full month. Like honestly, like a little bit 5 weeks. So for us, without a doubt, this Disney challenge is going to set the tone for the metagame for the second one.
No doubt.
So like every competitive player is going to be at this tournament, right? Like anyone that's capable will be in Atlanta, Georgia on May 25th to play in this tournament. So you're going to have a gigantic amount of information. More, in my humble opinion, it will be the largest tournament to date for Disney Lorcana. I do not think it'll be close.
And I assume that's Memorial Day weekend too, right?
I have no idea. Maybe. But let's put it this way. Like this past weekend in Stone Mountain, Georgia, they had 224 players for a random 8K. This event is going to blow that event out of the water.
Yes.
So the idea that we're going to have this much, 1 week after the set, I can promise you that competitive players don't give a shit about the prices of cards. They're going to have the best decks. They're going to have, granted, we might not have the best decks because we might not have all the information in time to test it.
Right.
But without a doubt, it's going to set the tone so very heavily for the Chicago event.
Yep.
But it is crazy to think that like we're going to get these like bang bang, So because we get these bang bang, and like kind of the way that I see this right now, Scott, it won't shock me if the set 4 set champs are like the last 2 weekends in June.
Oh, I agree.
So just because of the way this looks right here, like how Europe doesn't go until the 1st of July, I would imagine that we're going to have May 25th through 26th, June 8th and 9th, and then that like those 2 last weekends of June will be set champs again. And
if not early July, I agree.
Well, yeah, but we're already seeing this like this event here, right? Like
that's true.
Like Europe's the same thing. All of Europe set champs are the same weekend. So that would be my guess is that we'll have that. I guess the question will be if we'll have another Disney Challenge in North America
in July.
In July before the release of Set 5. Because Set 5 is like the first week or second week of August, I think.
It's technically the week after Gen Con. I'm just assuming that it's at Gen Con.
What, the Set Challenge?
No, the release of the set.
Oh, technically. Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, technically, it releases the week after Gen Con.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would, to me, I the way this looks, with 4 more events to be announced, really shitty that Europe's only 2 more. To be honest, that's a feels bad. like it's just like that. Like why? Like I don't get it.
Because the North American team is technically in charge of Lorcana.
Yeah, that's fair. To me, I guess from May until October, I would expect there to be a Disney Challenge in North America.
Yeah, and I guess that kind of does put a damper on my second season of these because I guess if they technically are 1 a month and we just don't have that many months. So that's totally fair. Like I would think if we were going to have one 2 weeks after this, because it's 2 weeks after the other one, like we would know. Like it's too soon to like not.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think it's going to be like. It might even end up being July 6th and 7th, to be honest. They might not just be able to lock that down yet, but it might just be that date.
They're probably trying to decide on location. Like, I'm also very surprised that these are not centered around conventions. These are
that's great though, right? That's wonderful.
What?
That they're not? Like I'm
I'm just shocked.
I'm like after doing it for like the last year of like going to these events or tacked on the conventions, like having that badge fee, like it's just a damper on like the weekend itself. It's another extra cost. I'm so grateful that they're like, we're just gonna do our own thing.
I mean, but when we had events at conventions, we usually the competitors usually got them for free. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
The what?
But it's not that type of event. Like, didn't we get them for free a bunch of time? Oh, it was national.
No, so for World of Warcraft, we would win Gen Con badges.
Right.
So that was great. Listen, I've been to Gen Con like 9 times. I've never ever purchased a badge. Right. So that's great. But that's not true for everybody.
Right.
But we also, I feel like we know that the summer months have Origins and have Gen Con. And like we know that they're probably going to be at Gen Con. So if there was one of these at Gen Con, I feel like they would have told us.
Yeah, I think they just don't want to do that either. So,
right.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Honestly, the truth is that the way this tournament structure is, they don't have the space for it at Gen Con.
I mean, they
would have to buy a gigantic portion of Gen Con,
right? Yeah,
which is it's not in the budget, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, in my humble opinion, this will not be at Gen Con because if they think that they're going to have 300, 400, 500 people, I mean, think about it. Gen Con, PAX Unplugged, the first two events that they had, convention events, they only had 64 player events.
Yeah.
That's six. They're not going to go from 64 to 800. Like
no, you're right.
That's not going to happen. So I would not expect this at Gen Con at all. I would expect more of Set 5 sealed events at Gen Con personally.
Yeah, the set will release.
Yeah. What do you think the justification will be like? They didn't mention anything about this, right?
Yeah, they said there's going to be one.
They said there will be one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like 12 years since I've ever looked at judge certifications.
Yeah.
So I imagine it's just going to be like extraordinarily similar to what Magic the Gathering is.
I have no frame of reference for this whatsoever.
Yeah, like I'm sure there'll be like a hyper base level test for level 1 judges, and then there'll be like the next level up for level 2. Like it depends on how many levels they want to go, but I also know for sure that I would assume that will be out before this Disney challenge happens.
Oh yeah, they said they're trying to get the comprehensive rules and that out first.
That sounds wonderful too. So I would guess that we would probably get that. I would love to have that before set championships. In all honesty, I would love to, because if you remember correctly, for set championships you have to have a designated judge.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I would guess that we're going to have it in the next couple of weeks. It would be my guess. So I don't know. Scott, I'm blown away. Like, we are basically getting Darkmoon fairs. You know, like for us, where we met, where we grew up together in a way, like this sounds a lot like Darkmoon fairs. So
yeah,
getting this level of an event,
Grand Prix, what we're gonna call.
Yeah, like Grand Prix and Magic, you know, like getting this level of event. I mean, 9 months into the game, right? Like May will be 9 months. It's not even a year. Like not even a year. We're talking about 9 months into the game. They're like, here's a giant tournament that we are hosting as the organized play and tournament organizers. I'm impressed.
And apparently they were going down this path for a while, because Rochelle said that like people were like, oh, why isn't the Rapunzel enchanted, or why isn't this enchanted? And she's like, she would just laugh. Like she knew that these cards were going to exist. So like that impresses me that like they've known for a long time that this was going to be the path they were going to go down. So
yeah, I mean, I do wonder like maybe they always knew, right? Like maybe they always knew that this was going to be the path. Like they knew like, oh, we're going to do this stuff when it's time. But I do wonder if the reception of the game, if the success of third-party organizers and what they have had shown them that, hey, maybe we need to move our timetable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know? So, like, maybe we are getting this 3-4 months in advance, right? Which is still awesome. But, I don't know. Nonetheless, I'm very impressed. The level of this is great. Some of it is weird. I guess for time restraint reasons, going from the best of 2 to the best of 3 is the only thing that really kind of makes sense to me. But I don't know. For me, if you're gonna have this system anyway, I don't know why you don't just stick to it. And like, if you want to go to a best of 3 and top cut, that makes way more sense, right?
Well,
like, you can't do a best of 2 in top cut. That I can agree on. But it's weird that you would do it in like the top 64 or like the day 2, I should say.
It's because it cuts from 64 has one prize, 32 has one prize, 16 has one prize. So like they need like these definite things to occur at various breakpoints. So they need like,
so like once you get into top 64, you'll know what the breakdown of points is.
Like I would assume like day 2 is 5 rounds.
It's a 5-round tournament. Yeah.
Right. To make it to, and then like you're just ranked. And then
it's a 5-round tournament. Yeah.
I would assume either top 16. I would assume top 16 plays and then top 8 plays, etc. Like in
they didn't say what the top is, did they?
No.
Okay.
But
these are only going to be 2-day events, right?
Yes, the continental things will be three.
Yeah, there'll be 3 days.
Yeah. So I would assume
that's a pretty long day on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean,
like you're talking 5 rounds. To me, it probably is a top 8. I don't think they're going to go to a top 16.
I guess technically, like, it could be a Friday day 1, Saturday day 2, and then eliminate
but they're only
the 8.
It's only 25th and 26th. So
okay, well then I'm not. Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
So yeah, longer day 2.
So yeah, I mean, the Sundays are like if you're booking travel, you're not flying home Sunday nights.
That's how. That's how Grand Prix and Pro Tours work.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
you're like day 2 of a limited Grand Prix, you drafted twice.
Yeah,
and then you cut the top 8.
So. Yeah, because I was just like comparing it to like for our Continentals in the past, it was always Friday constructed, Saturday draft, and then Sunday is top cuts.
Like the absolute top cuts. That was only top.
It was 8. Like top 16 for towards the end of WoW. It was top 16s. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think in 2 days, you're still talking. If like, I assume a 9 a.m. start, 5 rounds. Put you what, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then top 8.
Well, it might be 6 rounds. I don't know what 64 actually is. It might be 6.
I think it's 5. I think you have to be at 65 players to go. But I guess then that's the question: if all players at X points make it, does that go to a 6 round?
I would assume so. They have not said that. She just said that there will be more than 64, and I assume that's what that means. I'm not positive, but I assume that's what that means.
The only other thing I could consider is if they did like side events for Let It Goes for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's possible.
Right? Like that kind of makes sense.
That could happen. Yeah.
Like that could be the other way to get that. Like not the top 32 or the top 16 card, but the Let It Go might just be like side event wins.
Yeah, possible.
Which there's pretty good EV on that probably. Like 3-0 and get a Let It Go. Yeah.
And they did mention that they're going to be like, these are still like really cool events to go if you're not playing for some reason, but obviously they're open. Like you don't have to qualify to play in these.
Right.
But they did say that like they're making nationals and worlds like these like destination events to where like it's a Lorcana weekend. Like, even if you're not playing, you still want to go. Like,
yeah,
plenty of side events, whatever. And there's going to be plenty of side events at these things too. Like,
I imagine there's a million side events. Yeah,
yeah. Like this will be a Lorcana weekend. Like you're gonna want. Like if you're listening to this, you're gonna want to go. That's the point.
Yeah, I mean, everything about this is great from every imaginable standpoint, and I would also assume like. What I can't remember what they are, but we now this event in May will be the first time and the only time that we can get the Scrooge, right?
Oh yeah, good point.
So that means even then
we won't even be able to get it
because it's only for set 3.
I mean,
where the hell are we getting the Scrooge then? Like,
I mean, we can only I mean, they were at Gamma, but and they were at like 1 or 2 events in Europe.
Did they sell cards at Gamma?
No, but they gave them out to the.
They gave them out at Gamma.
Everyone that like came to one of their things.
Okay.
I don't know. The only footage I've seen from Gamma is from TCU players, so okay. I don't really know what happened at Gamma. But
yeah, I mean, obviously nothing big happened because there was like almost no report on it.
So unless there's unless there's a con where they're selling product, there shouldn't be any way to get them.
Right.
So it's gonna be like the way they had them at that pre-release event. Like they're just gonna have them and give them out at some other pre-release event.
Yeah, I just think it's weird that basically for an entire season we had no way of going and getting that card. They're not
going to every convention in the world. That's the issue.
Sure.
And going, it seems like I know you mentioned Origins earlier. Origins is junk nowadays. Like,
yeah, I'm just saying
people don't even go to that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like I think they're going to D23. I don't know when that is.
D23 is the weekend after Gen Con.
Oh, I know they're going to D23.
And shout out to my girl Melissa. She sent me a screenshot of the cost. Oh, see you later.
I know they're going to D23.
Yeah, which is I said that's the weekend after Gen Con.
Yeah,
so that's the release weekend of Chapter 5,
whatever the next set is.
Set 5, yeah.
So yeah, if they're not going to be in conventions, there's no way of getting these promos. So,
God, how much is that Scrooge promo then?
$80.
That's it. It's like you can't get it anywhere, but it's $80. Doesn't make sense.
People in Europe have them. So,
all right,
people in Europe, cool. I mean, I saw the other day there was an event where they gave those Gastons out to the top 8. We don't have them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So like
we've never had the ability to get them because they were only over in
certain stores, conventions, and things like that given stacks of them because they bought a ton of product.
I wonder if they'll just show up in said championships.
Huh?
I wonder if they'll just show up as participation in said championships.
Who knows? They haven't even announced who has the set championships yet. That's supposed to be
no. Everyone I've talked to has not. Anyone that I have talked to that knows anything about the application process have said they have heard nothing yet.
But they applied.
But everyone applied. Yeah. I was already asked to be a judge at one of them, even though they don't even know if they're getting it yet.
There you
go. Yeah. That's a lot of stuff, Scott, today. Shout out to like 1 million people that followed us during this stream. So many of you guys. I'm so bad at this. But huge shout out to you guys for following the Twitch.
When someone follows?
What?
Do you have something cool when some people follow?
So I only when we stream using OBS. I don't have it set up when we stream using StreamYards.
Okay.
So that's why I can see everyone that did it, and a shout out to all of you awesome people. But yeah, I don't have the thing set up while we're streaming this way because it doesn't work. It's not integrated, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a busy couple weeks coming up though, Scott. We have a 1K on Sunday.
Yep.
At Encounter, pending stream, maybe, don't know yet.
Are we skipping anything on Saturday by not going to a render?
On this Saturday?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I just know that I can't play Saturday, so it doesn't matter.
Neither can I, but I was just wondering if we're missing.
I don't know that there's anything in our area on Saturday though. Like there's like sealed events or something like that, but
we're skipping PAX East, which is this weekend.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, there's a 1K at PAX East that we could have went to.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're not doing that. Other than that, I don't think so. In the area, just the 1K at the Encounter. Like I said, there's a chance that I stream it, but I kind of want to play, and I can't do both, so I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
So, but yeah. Any last words, Scott?
No, I missed a lot of work today for Lorcana, which is honestly pretty much every day. But I will tell you the other thing I will mention is, and this is not a correlation thing, but like I can tell you that during the live stream we had a ton of sales, which I think is very positive for the game.
That always happens. That always happens during spoiler season too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I remember when the Sorcerer's Tower was revealed, and then we sold out of like all of our Sorcerer Mickeys.
Somebody bought 20. Was it 20 of the
25 Ursula Deceivers? Yeah.
No, not Deceivers. The Amethyst one. The Amethyst one. The 3-cost uninkable one.
It was that one?
Yeah.
I missed that. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it was that
okay.
One. Somebody really
that card's really cheap.
Floodborn Ursula.
She's a rare, right?
Yeah, she's not.
It was only like $6 for that order.
That's what happens.
Man, that card is worthless.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's like super familiar during the spoiler season. I will say, so what are we 2 months out from reveal season? I don't even know how many cards it was today. Was it like 15 cards? Was it that many?
6 was it 6 or 9 in Cantu cards? I think it was 6 in Cantu cards. 3 other cards. I forgot the aerials. That's 10. and then like 6 from the set thing, and 3 from the other. Yeah,
I think it was 17 cards.
It's a lot for day one.
I mean, it's way more than just the Forbidden Mountain.
Yes. Let me ask you a question, and I want leave a comment below of how you feel about this. Do you think this will bring more competitive players into the game? This level of pricing, this level of structure.
Do I think? I'm going to be honest. My gut is telling me no.
Oh, okay.
My gut is telling me no because I think most people that are truly like high-level competitive players are always looking for a number, and this does not have a number. There is no, I'm going to win $10,000. There is no, this is a $20,000 tournament, right?
But One Piece doesn't have that either, though.
Yeah, but One Piece is a cult following, so like,
you saw the numbers. You just put the numbers on the screen.
Cult, man. I don't know. I don't understand the One Piece thing at all. Like literally not even a little bit. It blows my mind. I hope it does for what it's worth. I do hope it does. But, that also comes with weight, right? Like there's weight that comes with players that are only playing for prizes.
Sure.
That, all right, I'm going to win this card, but then I have to rely on selling the card. I have to rely on this deal not falling apart and me getting burned and screwed and all that crap, right? So, like, there's a lot of weight to that also that people don't really like to, they don't like to deal with that crap. So, how much are the vendors on site going to be buying these cards for?
Oh, half of what they're worth.
Right. Like if, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're on site and like, obviously the Disney Lorcana is going to have vendors, whatever. I assume they're going to have some type of vendors, right?
Yeah.
If I walk up to a vendor and said, hey, here's my top 16 Rapunzel, what are you going to give me for it? What are they going to say?
Oh no, they're going to be listed. They're going to know how much they're giving for it.
Right. But my point is like on site, there's no way it's going to be worth what it's actually worth. But those players are probably going to sell it,
I mean, I wouldn't sell it on site. You can't get it graded, blah, blah,
blah. I don't feel that comfortable flying with a piece of cardboard potentially worth thousands of dollars. I don't know. I mean, I guess you didn't play Legacy.
I guess you didn't. You never got a Spectral Tiger? I don't know.
Yeah, right? Never had a Spectral Tiger, bro? Like, come on, man. What's up? Shout out to my boy Dick Burns. I don't know. I feel weird about it. I don't think it'll initially do it, right? I think it's going to be a word of mouth. So I think eventually it's going to be especially yeah.
Nice.
I think it's going to be a word of mouth thing. Let's put it this way. I don't know the answer to this. So I really don't. But how many people started playing One Piece because they heard cards are going for $100,000? I don't know.
I know that started One Piece did it for that reason, but I know a lot of people that played before that.
Yeah. So like I don't know. Like I think it is a word of mouth thing. I think it's like one of those where you're gonna be like, hey, I won this top 32 card, in your card circle, will be like, yeah, and I sold it for $2,000. And they're gonna be like, what? Like top 32 is a $2,000 prize? You're like, yeah. I just don't know that immediately people are gonna be excited about it. I think it's exactly what we want it, right? Like I never wanted cash prizing. I think I don't think it's the best thing ever. I would rather have these type of trophy-esque projects because prizes because like, if I really want to, I can just keep it and be like, yep, this is mine. This is like I earned this. I cannot ever fathom playing with it.
Right.
Like I don't even like playing with Enchanteds, and I can't fathom playing with one of these things. The Let It Goes, I'm telling you right now, I'll play with Let It Goes and Dragonfires. I'll play with those all day. But I do not know that I would play with the Cinderellas or Rapunzels. Certainly not the Mickey Mouse.
Right.
No chance. But
right.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know. I think it's good. I think official organized play is enough of a reason for people that were on the fence to come over.
Right.
But I can also see a lot of arguments going like, oh, it's just a card. I don't care. I don't know.
WoW and One Piece just have taught me differently. That's all.
WoW is so much different because like players weren't buying your card. Online gamers were, right? Like
you still had to sell it. And
like,
it was more dangerous. It was more dangerous to sell that. It was more dangerous to sell that than it was to sell a card.
Oh, yeah. No, that's true. It was absolutely more dangerous. Especially back then. The PayPal rules were not very good.
Right.
Now you're way more covered.
Yeah.
But like the One Piece thing doesn't make sense. I don't get it at all. But I'm also not part of the cult following, so I guess maybe that's a part of it. But I mean, we're coming from Transformers where we won giant robots that just hang like on my shelf here. And it was like, yeah, this is a $250 robot. It's like, cool, but I never sold it because it would have cost me $30 to ship it. So it's just kind of sitting in my house for the last 5 years. But like you won uncut sheets, right? Mm-hmm. Like they could have done that too. So like the fact that they didn't go to that extent, they're just like, no, here's like this super awesome alt art card. I don't know. I guess maybe we'll see. I really feel like these first couple won't be enough. It won't be until after the word of mouth of going, yeah, no, like these sold for thousands of dollars.
That's fair.
So we'll have to see.
And the graded ones won't come out for at least a month after.
The graded ones are at least a solid month,
takes
2 months out.
Yeah.
However long they really take. So that's hard to say also. But yeah. So it's good to know we'll have Atlanta hopefully soon. I'd love to know where we're going because spoiler guys, we'll be there.
I assume it's the convention center, but we don't know.
Yeah. Same thing with Chicago. I didn't go to DMF Chicago.
I did. I forget where it was. I remember going to McCormick and Schmitz. That's all I remember.
I'm trying to remember. Like,
it was in a hotel, from what I can remember.
Yeah, a lot of the DMFs were in hotels,
and it was cold. It was in the winter. Luckily,
yeah, that's why I remember. I just know I didn't go to DMF Chicago. I mean, I've been to Chicago a million times, but never for cards. I think.
Pizzeria Uno, the original.
What?
Pizzeria Uno, the original, like the real.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where do you think the other 4 will be?
Well, there's got to be something on the West. There's got probably at least 2 on the West Coast. I think Seattle. I'm praying to God for Seattle. That's a slam dunk for them, right? That's their headquarters.
I think it's too expensive.
Chicago is not cheap.
Seattle's really expensive to get that kind of room, from what I understand.
I mean, I don't know. They live there, man. I have faith.
I assume outside of LA or Anaheim.
I mean, I could see Anaheim, but they're also already there for other stuff. So I can totally see them renting out that facility.
Somewhere northeast, you think? Up by us?
What?
Up by us somehow?
I'm still betting on Continentals to be at PAX Unplugged. So
Gen Con you have no event, but PAX Unplugged you're cool with?
Well, it's here and it's way cheaper than Gen Con, and it's not 4.5 days long. So yes, and I would also assume that if that is what it is, then the part of the pricing will be a badge, like they whatever, they'll eat that. So
like maybe like Boston area then?
I think Boston's a good spot. I mean, why not? I mean, it's also really expensive though, for what it's worth. But
somewhere in the middle, somewhere like Minnesota.
Maybe they do Hartford, right? Like that was a nice little spot.
Texas, maybe.
Texas probably gets one. I would slam dunk Texas.
Like the San Antonio or
maybe Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas is always cheap in like realistically.
Yep.
So like
you can have it at any casino they have.
Yeah, so like Vegas is Vegas. I mean, we did WoW Nationals like 4 years in a row in Vegas.
Once it started there, it never stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like straight up like 4 years in a row. So Vegas is easy. I think Anaheim is slam dunk. I would be shocked if they didn't do one in Seattle, but I get it.
I've never had
obviously like I'm sure they could do Orlando, right? Like so I don't know. There's plenty of options, but we'll see. I'm hopeful for Seattle because I want to go back to Seattle. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe Oregon, right? Portland's nice.
I've never done an event in Portland or Seattle.
Okay.
There's never even been an event.
Did you DMF Seattle?
If there was one,
I thought we did.
I never did it.
Okay. Maybe I went to that one without you then. Okay. Yeah, Philly's a duh, but I think I'm hopeful for other things. I don't know. We'll have to see. Well, sir, it's been fun. Chat, It's been real. Yeah, it was a crazy amount of information today for Disney Lorcana. I don't think anyone was prepared for like a 3-hour.
No, I was certainly
podcast.
I certainly was not.
I'm very hopeful that they do release it on their YouTube channel. Like they have one. I hope they just release it so it's out there for everyone to watch.
They have one. Yeah.
They have one. It's really crappy that I can't like just go and put it on right now and just listen to it because like it doesn't exist. So I'm hopeful that they do find it. I'm done. I've done watch the events, for sure, in Seattle, for sure. Yeah. So but it's been a lot of fun, chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for all the new followers. You guys are incredibly awesome. And there's a good chance you'll hear from us on Sunday for the stream, but we'll have to see.
Cool.
But adios, guys.
See ya.